Hare Krishna. So as we wait for the Bhagavatam to arrive, I'll start with Jai Radha Madhava. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari. Jashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tiravana-chari Jamuna Tiravana-chari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Radha. Jaya Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Radha. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Radha Krishna Kanhaiya Bhagavan ki jai, Gauranitai ki jai, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयोमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। श्रीमद्भागवतं की जय। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो पङ्कजनाभाय नमो पङ्कजमालिने नमो पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रि। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते नमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशकारिणे। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। उपस्थित वैष्णववृंद की जय। सोना जगतार स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय। So we are reading today from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 11, Verse number 25. Strinam chapati devanam तच्छुश्रुषाणु अनुकूलता तद्बन्धुष्वा अनुवृत्तिश्च नित्यं तद्व्रतधारणम्। स्त्रीणां च पति देवानां तच्छुश्रुषानुकूलता तद्बन्धुष्वा अनुवृत्तिश्च Nityam Tad Vratadharanam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. To render service to the husband, to be always favorably disposed towards the husband, to be equally well disposed towards the husband, relatives and friends, and to follow the vows of the husband. These are the four principles to be followed by a woman who is described as chaste. Purport. It's very important for peaceful householder life that a woman follow the vow of her husband. Any disagreement with the husband's vow will disrupt family life. In this regard, Chanakya Pandit gives a very valuable instruction. Dampatyo kalaho nashti tatra shri swayam agata. When there are no fights between husband and wife, the goddess of fortune automatically comes to the home. A woman's education should be conducted along the lines indicated in this verse. The basic principle for a chaste woman is to always be favorably disposed towards her husband. In Bhagavad Gita 1.40, it is said that Strishu Dushtashu Varshneya Jayate Varna Shankara. If the women are polluted, there will be Varna Shankara population. In the modern times, the Varna Shankara are the hippies who do not follow any regulative injunctions. Another explanation is that when the population is Varna Shankara, no one can know who is on what platform. The Varnashram system scientifically divides society into 4 Varnas and 4 Ashrams. But in Varna Shankara society, there are no such distinctions. No one can know who is who. In such a society, no one can distinguish between a Brahmana, a Kshatriya, a Vaishya, and a Shudra. For peace and happiness in the material world, the Varnashram institution must be introduced. The symptoms of one's activities must be defined, and one must be educated accordingly. Then spiritual advancement will automatically be possible. Strinam chapati devanam tachu shushnanukradaha tatbandhushva anuvitrasya nityam tad vritadharanam. To render service to husband, to be always disposed towards the husband. Okay, we can write down. Somebody has a marker? Have a marker? Because there are 4 things which are given here. 4 lines, 4 things. What to be done. You have it? You have a marker? Okay, so you can write down the acronym SATI. S-A-T-I. The 4 things are 4 lines are giving us 4 things what a woman needs to be doing. S-A-T-I. So for S, it is service with sincerity. Please, you can keep it. It's a very interesting verse. Says that how a woman is supposed to be serving her husband. So we'll write down these 4 things and we'll discuss on it. Sati, service with sincerity. A, align with affection. This is all given in the verse itself. Service with sincerity. Tat shushusha, anukulata. The way he wants it, anukul bhava. Align with affection. T is treat his tribe kindly. Treat his tribe kindly. And I is Nityam Tadvata Dharana. Imitate the ideal. Imitate the ideal. Imitate the ideal. The ideal.
Please.
Ideal, I-D-E-A-L, ideal. Yeah, imitate the ideal. Okay, Hare Krishna. So very, very interesting words. Most of us here are Grihastha. Every ashram has his own particular duty. in Grihastha ashram, not only a wife, even a husband is supposed to treat the wife nicely, wife is supposed to respect the husband nicely. This is such a beautiful ashram where we have a partner to deal with us in fighting the Maya. In other ashrams like Brahmachari ashram, they have to fight the Maya on their own. You see, when you go for a war, they have this, I don't know what they store in that, maybe cement or something like that. There are so many, it's like they make like a bunker. And then behind that they will go and then they will be putting the guns, so that when the enemy will put a shot, they will be saved. At the same time, they will be pointing the gun towards the enemy. So Grihastha ashram is something like that. Brahmachari ashram is like going out with the Maya without any armor. But Grihastha ashram is having a bodyguard, right? Because if the person is married, if he looks here, looks there, his wife will ask, where are you looking? Where were you looking during Bhagavatam class? I saw you. So the guy is can't move. So it's like some 24 hours policeman. He will keep on looking. And the husband also is a 24 hours policeman. What happened? But see, I don't understand. When a wife asks husband, what happened, where you are going, why you came late he is responsible to answer. If the husband asks wife, she will say, you're not giving me freedom. You're not giving me space. You're not giving, don't you trust me? Don't you have faith on me? I don't know why it's like different natures. Probably the Lord has made like that. But actually, whether it is men or women, both need protection. It's not that only women need protection, even men need protection from Maya. Even women need protection from Maya. So instead of going on fighting over, you said this and you said that, it can be a team where I help you against Maya and you please help me too. It should be a partnership, right? And that partnership will happen if you both have the same goal. Then it becomes a little bit easy because everybody has a different nature, different swabhava. Everybody is carrying a different package, a different luggage from their previous life. See, sometimes, right, the women are like, I don't know, I said so many times I try to help my husband, no, don't do this way, but he doesn't change. Sometimes it's very difficult because they have their previous life baggage, previous life swabhava. So the best part is if we have Krishna in center, then everything will become fine. Because in this world, as we were discussing yesterday, that we have high expectation. My husband should be like this, my wife should be like that. But somehow, nobody can be perfect. Everybody will have some or the other weaknesses. But between the two imperfect beings, if they are worshipping the perfect Krishna, then everything will become perfect. Otherwise, nobody can have a perfect Grihastha life. It's impossible. Even if somebody in this forum says, we are the perfect husband, me and my husband will never fight, even for the AC remote or for anything. We don't fight. Then I warn you, dear mother, just go and check. Your husband must be having an affair. If he's not fighting with you, has to fight because that is authentic. Husband and wife, there will be some argument, right? Because you are two different human beings. If you're a human being, you'll have some idea, he will have some idea, something will go wrong. And imagine, on contrary, really if you have a husband like that, who talks like you, thinks like you, eats like you, sleeps like you, likes whatever you like, it's going to become pretty boring. You imagine, Prabhu, what you want to have? Whatever you like. Prabhu, where shall we go? Wherever you say. Prabhu, what you will wear? Whatever you say. It's going to be hellish, At least somebody will know, I don't think I want to have chapati today. Let's have rice. No, let's have chapati. There is some kind of a conversation, otherwise it becomes very boring, So actually we don't understand as a human being our nature is, when it is hot we want it cold, when it is cold we want it hot, always wanting that which is not. That's our nature. Somebody is nice to us, why is he nice to me? If the husband is very nice also, why is he so nice to me today? Only is that doubt. If he's not nice to me, it's a regular, he's always not nice to me. The whole point is we like to complain. And if there is nothing to complain, we feel boring. Nothing is there to complain, right? Imagine if somebody's mother-in-law is very nice to me, she feels very boring. All are just, saying something about their mother-in-law and nothing to say. So that's our nature, we like to complain. If somebody does something to us, then whole day we can talk about it, we get a topic. Why is this all happening? Because Krishna is not in center. If Krishna is in center, you have so much to talk about Bhagavatam, you'll be least interested to talk about what your husband did, what her husband did. And we have seen, when you have nothing big in life, then everything small also will make it big. Because you have nothing big in life to do. But people who have something big in life to achieve, will not be bothered about small things. See, imagine you got a nice, maybe you got a nice job offer somewhere, a very big salary, and you're on the way, first day. And at that time somebody comes and disturbs also, you'll say, it's okay. Because you have something big to achieve, you are in such a happy mood, you're so happy. I have to go there, I have to reach there, today is my first day. Even if your little brother or your husband says something else, it's okay, Prabhu, it's okay, because you are busy. There's nothing to do. Why did you speak like that? Because anyway, you have nothing to do. Now let's fight. So something, at least my time will be passed, right? So if you keep the big goal in life, yes, I want to go back home, back to Godhead. Yes, I want to read my Bhagavatam. I want to complete my rounds. I have my temple service. So something big. See, even between me and my husband, we already, I think we completed to 97. 97, now it's 2025, right? So how many years? Almost 30, 29 years? Yeah, almost 29 years we completed. But one thing between me and my husband, even one single thing is not common between us. We are both like north and south. Whatever he likes, I don't like. Whatever I like, he doesn't like. But we have successful marriage in last 29 years. Why? Because I always tell this joke, because I am from Gujarat. My husband is from Bengal. Between Bengal and Gujarat, there is Vrindavan. You see the India map? Everything is happy. Because the goal is same. He wants to be a good devotee. I am also trying and struggling to become a good devotee. So the goal is same. So it's okay for little things to be compromised because we both want to go in that same direction. Both going in opposite direction, then there is a problem. So now when I say this sloka, where it says Trinam Pati Devanam, the women are supposed to serve their husband, then immediately after the class one question will come. Okay, your husband is a devotee, Mataji, no problem. My husband is not a devotee. So what I should do? Am I also supposed to fulfill his every desire and serve him? So for that, immediately after this Trinam verse, there's another verse given, and in that purport, Srila Prabhupada says that if a husband is not a devotee, then there are certain different formula. It doesn't have to go this way. But when a husband is devotee, 100% one should follow, because it says in Hari Bhakti Vilas and elsewhere also in many of the Shastras that when a husband is devotee, frankly speaking, is this getting recorded? Frankly speaking, even if you don't do your 16 rounds, if you serve him and he is doing his 16 rounds, you'll go back home, back to God. But Prabhupada said we have to do, so we'll do it. I'm just generally telling you, don't take it like, hear from here and take it out. Just for the class. But that's the truth. That's the truth. Because that is why you see those Rishis and Munis in the previous, time, you see that. How they used to do everything, and the wives used to just take care of the ashram, Gurukul, get all that, cook and all, and do the yajna samagri should be ready. And the husbands used to do a lot of austerity, and finally when the Vimana comes, take their wife's hand and take her. That's it, because she has served. So now I'll tell you, if you think how can that be possible, I'll prove it to you. Same thing with the guru-disciple relationship. Same thing with the king and citizens relationship. So Hari Bhakti Vilas says that a king has to take the sins of his citizen. A husband has to take the sins of his wife. And a guru has to take the sins of his son. That is it. At the same time, Hari Bhakti Vilas says that a husband, if he is doing some good karma, half goes to his wife. A king, if he is doing some sinful activity, that will not go to the citizens. But if he is doing a good activity, the half goes to his citizens. That is why you see Ranti Dev, he did 40 days fasting. Why? Because in his kingdom there was a drought. So he did the austerity because he knows as a king, if he does the austerity, half of the good karma will go to the citizens, so that the drought will be removed, everybody will be happy. Same thing with Guru. If Guru does some sinful activity, it doesn't go to the disciples. But if a Guru does something good, then that will go to the disciples. Same thing with husband. If the husband is doing some sinful activity, he has to suffer on his own. But if he chants 16 rounds, 8 rounds go to you. That's why you make him chant 64. So Prabhu, I will take care of everything. Prabhu, you sit and chant. Nicely you chant. Because anyway, whatever you chant, I will get half. So whatever I chant, I will get. Whatever he chants also, I will get half. That is why we should serve husband. In short, it's only for our own selfish, this not for him or try to help him. Everything anyway we ultimately get. If he does charity. So many wives, they will stop their husband from doing charity. But actually, Grihastha means they have to do charity. If they do charity, the wife will get half of the good karma. But you know what? There is other way around also. If the wife does sinful activity, half goes to husband. If the citizens do sinful activity, half goes to the king. If the disciples do sinful activity, half goes to Guru. That is why Guru is so careful in taking a disciple, because if he doesn't follow rules and regulations, Guru has to take them. If the wife doesn't follow properly and does sinful activities, husband has to take it. The king has to take. That is why king will be always, there are many amazing kings in the history where they used to make sure even the citizens did Ekadashi, otherwise their sinful activities he has to take. Better they do Ekadashi and the sinful activities go away. So there are many kings in the history. If you read the Ekadashi Mahatyam stories, there were many kings who used to make an announcement. Every time, one day before Ekadashi, there will be an announcement with those drums. Dear citizens, tomorrow is Ekadashi, everybody has to fast. So like that, this is very, very amazing. So, Grihastha life, if we keep Krishna in center, then we will always be happy. So I'll also give you, we'll go with this first. So service with sincerity. When we serve the husband, we should serve with sincerity, align with affection, not do it as a, why do I have to serve him? As we were discussing yesterday, husband is also a Vaishnava, he is also a Jiva, he is also a living entity, he is also part and parcel of Krishna. We should serve him with that mood. And treat his tribes nicely. This is very important. When my mother comes, I am happy and healthy. When his mother comes to visit, I get headache. That should not happen. Right? We should not get headache. When his mother is visiting, my health is not good, I am feeling reeling, or weakness has come, that should not happen. Treat his tribe nicely. So husband's sister, husband's parents, husband's brother, they should also be treated nicely. That is the beauty of a woman actually. She will be so easily able to gel herself in the other family, accept them, love them. That's the way. How to get a place in husband's heart is when you treat his tribe nicely. Very important. You see, this is a conversation in Mahabharata between Satyabhama and Draupadi and other kings and queens of Dwarika. They came to visit Draupadi and the Pandavas at Hastinapur. So in the night, when the families, they visit each other till night, conversations will go on. So then when the ladies are conversing in their chamber, the men are conversing in their chamber, then all the queens of Dwarika, they said, Draupadi, we have a question. How come your husbands like you so much? Though these Pandavas, they had a common wife, Draupadi, individually also they had many wives. Arjuna was also married, Yudhishthira, Bhima had Hidimba, everybody had wives. But they were all commonly very, very attached and respectful to Draupadi. So Satyabhama asked this question, Draupadi, what do you do? Why are your husbands so pleased with you? Why do they respect you so much? Why do they have so much affection for you? They listen to whatever you say. And Draupadi speaks whole night on this. How I get up in the morning. He said, till now, in my life, my husbands have never seen me lying down. I'll get up before they get up. I'll sleep after they sleep. I serve them so nicely. I never give a back answer. So in all that, there are more than 51 things that she says. Maybe some other day we can discuss. But in one other thing that she says is this line, treat his tribe nicely. So I treat my husband's relative very nicely. So she said one way to get a place in husband's heart is, is by treating his parents nicely. That will make him so happy. See, men are usually not very expressive. Even if there is something in the heart, not many men are so efficient in explaining what they want. They try to keep it in the mind. Women are very expressive. One line they can tell in 100 ways with all emotions, drama, tears, all that men can't do. Even if they're feeling bad also, they can't cry and do all that. They're not drama queens. They will just keep it in the heart. If you can understand, you can understand. Some men maybe little bit, they can speak something. So, but when you treat their parents nicely, definitely in their heart they feel so happy. Even if they will not tell you directly, but somehow the other way you will see that change in their behavior. They'll feel so grateful to you for being nice to their parents. This is one thing very important. And imitate the ideal. We don't know how to behave, what to do, so we should have some ideal in our life. Some ideal grahastha. Okay, I can be like this person. Or some ideal grahastha in our life whom we can imitate. Be like them, talk like them, walk like them, think like them. What they are doing, take guidance from them. Right? So that way we can be an ideal couple. I also have another acronym for you is grihastha. How you can be a good grihastha. The first grihastha word G is that you be grateful to your partner. That's very important. For small things we get upset, but we don't count our blessings. There's so many nice things that we have, so many nice things that your husband may have. You only see the bad quality. Somehow, our species is like that. We are very good at finding out faults. Even in the most good thing also we can very easily find out fault. But we should also try to find out good things and be grateful for whatever. See, at the end of it, how the life is, when you get married in the beginning, it's like that honeymoon period. Because there is a lot of physical attraction due to the game of hormones. The wife will be so attracted to the husband's body, the husband will be so attracted to the wife's body. The initial honeymoon period, there will be less fights. After that, as that hormone thing gets little bit cooled down and the honeymoon period is over, then immediately, that fault finding will start. Why he keeps his socks like that, why he kept his towel like this, why he's doing that, why he's doing that. See, when you live with somebody 24 hours day in and day out, definitely there will be some things, some idiosyncrasies which you'll not like about each other. And there is nothing to be done about it, you just have to tolerate, Sometimes things look very nice from the far, But when it comes close, everybody has, even a moon has a dark, moon has a spot. Nothing can be so beautiful and clear. Everybody has their own weaknesses. You just have to tolerate, that's all. I don't know, somebody was telling me the other day, peacocks are so nice, the way they dance and so beautiful they are, It's so difficult to live with human beings, it's better to live with animal. I said, try. Try doing that. It's not so easy. You keep a peacock in your room, within few hours you will cry because of litter everywhere. And peacock, peacock dances very nice, but peacock's voice is not good. The way peacock makes noise, you can't bear it. So it's easy to say things like this, easy to be with animal and a human being. No, it's very difficult. See, everything looks good from far. When it comes close, it has its own weakness. So be grateful. So in the beginning that hormones, the physical attraction, then after that what happens? The insecurities start. This happens in everybody's life. Some of you are maybe newly married, some of them are married for some time, some of them are already in a vanaprastha, but I'll tell you, everybody goes through these stages. In the beginning there is a lot of physical attraction, then insecurity will start. Why were you talking with that Mataji? Why you were looking at that Prabhu? So many insecurities. What happened? Who called? Whose WhatsApp came? If somebody is doing job, the husband's become insecure, the wife will become insecure. What's your passcode? I want to check your phone. All that will happen. And I don't know if it doesn't happen with you, you're amazing ladies, but it will happen. Then after that what happens? In between that insecurities and fighting and what happened, is he looking at somebody, is she looking at somebody? By that time children will come. Once children will come, another set of problems will start. Then that problem of insecurity is gone. Now worried about children, how to take care, parent-teacher meetings. And then school nowadays as such, the project work given is not for children, it's for parents only. They only have to sit in the night and cut those and put it, they have to do all that. Okay, after that the stage is over, okay, now the children are getting a little elder. By that time now it's time for them to get married, but nowadays children don't want to get married. So there is another set of problem, how to convince them. They'll say this, they'll say that, and now how to protect the daughter, how to protect the son. You should get the right partner. Parents think that they only know how to get the right partner, but children think that if you really know how to get the right partner, why did you get married to mama? Right? Why did you get married to daddy? If you were so expert, you wanted such a partner for me, why didn't you such a better partner for yourself? I see you both always fighting. So they don't want to listen. By the time, okay, that problem is over, somehow the children are married. Now the children expect that you should help them for their delivery, for their all that will happen. At the end of it, fine, you're done with their delivery. Amma, you're all settled now. Please leave me, relieve me. At that time, what happens? Your knees don't work. You need a chair in Bhagavatam class. You can't go for Govardhan Parikrama. Eyes are not working. This is not working. That's not working. And nobody is interested to listen to you anymore because you don't have that energy and you can't do service in the temple. Now what to do? So this is how our life goes. And at the end of it, at the fag end of it, what are you left with? Is your husband is for you and you are for him. At the end, that's what is going to happen after the whole circle. Why not just do it from the beginning? Be together instead of going on fighting. Just be together for each other. That is a real life incident, I consulted many couples. There was this very young couple, they got married, they were from Hyderabad, they used to visit me once in a while in Visakhapatnam. So I was asking them how's marriage like, then husband was complaining something about the wife was complaining something, then husband said, Mataji, look at her. Indian women, they have this habit, this bindi is there, they'll put it on the mirror. So Mataji, she'll put all that in the mirror, I can't even see my face while shaving. Everything is sticker, why can't she clean it? Like that they used to fight, and I'm always like, counseling them. I tell you what happened, They were just married for maybe maximum 2 years. And then they came to know that the wife had 4th stage cancer. It was unexpected. It never went through 1st, 2nd, 3rd. By the time they knew it was already 4th stage cancer, within 6 months, she died. And after that, the husband, he visited us at Visakhapatnam. I was feeling so bad looking at him and I was asking him, so how are you taking these things? What's happening? He said, Mataji, now I go to the market, buy bindi packets and I put the bindis myself. Now I miss her so much and I miss those bindis in my mirror. And I was just telling him, look, you never know what life is going to do to us. Be grateful as long as you are there with each other instead of going on fighting and trying to change each other. Don't do like this, do. Many of the wives, they'll tell the husband after 20 years of marriage, you're completely changed. You're not like when we got married. And you changed him. You changed him by constantly giving him corrections. Not like this, not like that. Talk like this, smile like that. Walk like this, wear like this kurta, look like this, look. Oh, perfectly like a puppet he has to walk. With no freedom. You say, see right means see right. See left means see left. What is that? Let everybody be individual the way they want. They live longer without your continuous corrections. If you allow the person to live, he'll live happily from inside. Allow him to live, right? So this is the problem. At the end of it, it's only you for your husband and your husband for you. So we should be grateful as long as we have association. The problem is, when we have freely association with somebody, we don't value that association. When it's gone, doesn't come back, right? So the first G for Grihasthas is be grateful. Grihastha. And then we go to the next, you can put that also so that the Mataji's can. Grateful. Second is respect. G-R. You can keep that also if somebody wants to note down and start writing on the other side. R for respect. Respect each other's individuality, respect each other's choices. Don't force your choice on others. Everybody comes, the same applies for husband and the same applies for wife. Both come from different families, both come from different brought up, different background. One should tolerate, Nobody can be Sarvaguna Sampanna. And also, sometimes the definition of what is right for you may be different for him. Maybe because his brought up is different, your brought up is different. So you all have to see if two pipes need to be welded, you know what? They cannot be welded like this. They have to be welded like this. They have to bend. If you don't bend, you cannot weld. If you think only the other person should bend, other person should become like me, other person should do what I like, that's not a healthy marriage. Okay, I compromise a little bit, and he compromise a little bit, and then you have a pakka marriage. Respect. See, even a cell phone, when you buy a new cell phone, it takes a little bit time for the data to be transferred from the old cell phone to the new cell phone. And you wait patiently, and they tell you when the transfer is going on, don't press keys. Let the transfer happen smoothly. Similarly, when he comes to your family, you go to his family, you have to give that respectful time for a person to adapt to your way of thinking, behaving, and you to adapt to his way of thinking. So So it's very important that you respect each other, right? And not only that, respecting each other's family, as I was just talking about, whether it's your in-laws, whether it's your, like we said, treat his tribe nicely, treating his parents, treating his relatives with the same love and affection. So G for being grateful, R for respecting, I for introspection. The Shastras say that it's very difficult for us to understand our own weaknesses. It's like in Amavasya night, when you see a black ant walking on a black stone, very difficult to see because it's Amavasya night, there is no moon. And the stone is black and the ant is black and it's walking. Can you see that? No. Similarly, seeing our own faults is very difficult. We need a partner in our life who will tell us our fault, and we should be open to that. Right? Otherwise, if we make our partner also muted, who will help us to know our faults? So it's very, very difficult. So I for introspection. We try to do it ourselves, and also we take partners' help, right? See, we always think we are very beautiful unless we see our photo in Aadhaar card. Then we think, oh, I look like this, huh? Right? Because in the mirror I look nice only, but Aadhaar card shows the real picture, how you look, right? Similarly, a husband or partner is like a mirror. The whole world may glorify you, but the husband will show you the real picture because he sees you day in and day out. So it's like a free feedback service somebody is giving it, and you should take it very happily instead of getting upset the moment you get feedback. See, imagine you go to a doctor and the doctor says, madam, your hemoglobin is less. What will be your reaction or response? Oh, really, doctor? Can you give me some medicine and work on it, right? Do you go and fight with the doctor? What do you think about my hemoglobin? Check your hemoglobin first. How dare you talk about my hemoglobin? He's just helping you that your hemoglobin is low. Same thing with the husband. When he helps, you say, first you go and check yourself. What about your rounds? Then it's okay. Then there is no help for each other. But if you take it, in a sportive way, is it Prabhu? Really, Prabhu? Do you think I should change myself? Do you think I need a change here? Imagine that would be such a lovely partnership. Instead of trying to dominate each other, if you can take a humble side and, can you please help me? Where am I going wrong? Do you think the way I talk is not right? Do you think I should have been more respectful? Do you think my response should have been like this? Imagine if both of you do that, you can be such an amazing couple and improve each other. Okay, this is the way I should talk, this is the way I should be. Right? It is such a beautiful partnership. Actually, otherwise we are all lonely on our way home, back to God, and we are traveling alone. Krishna is so kind, Prabhupada is so kind that yes, he said, it's not that you have to be only brahmachari on your way back home, back to God, you can take help. Grahastha ashram is taking help, having a partner on your journey back home, back to God. It is such a privilege that there is somebody here who is exclusively for you, who will let you know where you are going wrong, so that you can go back home, back to God. But if you have forgotten your goal and you want to be comfortable here, then you will not enjoy the feedback. Why he has to tell like that? He always finds fault in me. But if your goal is fixed, you want to go back home, back to God here, then you will enjoy those feedbacks because you will feel he's helping me on my way home, back to God. He's telling me where I'm going wrong, what am I doing. So introspection, trying to understand where are we going wrong also. Like I was telling yesterday that, writing, journal writing, very important. It's like you're seeing a mirror. What are my bhavas today? What happened to me today? How I spent my day today? And it's not only about something like I got up at 6 o'clock, then I slept at 9 o'clock, not like that. What was I going through? Consciously understanding what's my mind going through when I was hearing the sessions, what happened to me? What can I actually apply in my life? See, even hearing classes at some point may become sattvic entertainment. It's nice, it's entertaining, I had a good time. We can keep it at that level, but there will be no improvement. But if somebody really is very serious and not only notes down so that I can use it for some other class when I give, I should actually go to Sankalpa section also. Nowadays what happens in ISKCON, because everybody gives classes, as a result what is happening whenever we hear, either it goes into memory section, oh it's nice thing, I remember, or it goes cross ventilation, you hear from here and it goes out from there. Or it goes in your book section, okay, I use it in my next class and I have to give a Bhagavatam class, it was a nice example. But very few things go to your Sankalpa section. This is something I want to implement in my life. I want to have an action plan for this. This is going to help my Krishna consciousness. Very few goes there. Actually, most of it's supposed to go to Sankalpa section, and if that happens, we will become an amazing devotees and we will make Srila Prabhupada proud of us, right? So yeah, one is grateful, respectful. We have to have introspection before correcting others. We should also understand where are we going wrong. See, whenever we see fault in others, we should understand that that fault we have. Otherwise, you can't see the fault, that fault in others. I'll tell you how. If I'm projecting something from my laptop and something is getting projected, and if I tell you, I don't know how it is coming, it's not there in my system. You will say, Mataji, don't be funny. The projector by itself has no memory. Whatever is there in your laptop only is getting projected there. It cannot get projected without, the laptop. Similarly, if you are able to see a fault in somebody, means you have that fault. Otherwise, you cannot see that fault. Otherwise, what will happen, even if you see that fault, now you will give benefit of doubt. No, I don't think she purposely did it. Because you are like that. See, Chanakya Pandit says, you see the Jagat, you see the world as you are. If you are a nice person, it's very difficult for you to find a bad person. You always feel everybody is so nice. Everybody is so nice in this world. Right? There is this pastime of, Yudhishthir and Duryodhan, right? Yudhishthir was asked that go and search for a bad person. And he said, from morning to night I went around, I could not find even one bad person. Duryodhan was asked, go and search one nice person. He said, I went everybody is worst. Not even one nice person is there in this world. So you see the Jagat, you see the universe as you are. If you are nice, you will see everybody nice, right? And if you are not good, you will see everybody is like that, right? So that's very important. So I'll tell you one story. There is this thing that Hanumanji, wherever Ram Katha goes on, Hanumanji will be there. That's a promise Hanumanji has made to Lord Ram. If Ram Katha goes, I'll go and sit there. So once Sant Ekanath from Maharashtra, he was giving a Ram Katha. Hanumanji was sitting on the branch of the tree and hearing it. So after the Katha was over, everybody clapped hands and they are all leaving. Hanumanji, he jumped from the branch. He disguised himself as a Brahmana and he went to Sant Ekanath and he said, Katha was super. Only one mistake he made. What is that? He said, you told that, when Mother Sita was kidnapped by Ravan and she was in that Ashok Vatika, the flowers around were beautiful white in color. The flowers were not white, they were all beautiful red in color. Ekanath said, but this is what I heard from my guru, it was white in color. Hanuman said, no, it was red in color. Both went into argument. Finally, Hanuman showed his form and said, I am Hanuman. I went to Ashok Vatika at that time. Don't argue with me. I was there. And I saw the flowers were red in color. Ekanath was adamant. He said, no, the flowers were white in color. Even if you are Hanuman or Ram, I don't care. What my guru says is correct. Then they both said, okay, why are we fighting? Let's go to Sita Mata and ask, because she was the one who was there in Ashok Vatika. So Hanuman took Sant Ekanath on his shoulder. They flew to Ayodhya Dham. They went into Mother Sita's quarter and then Hanuman asked, look, we have this argument, Mother. Please tell the flowers were white or red. Mother Sita said the flowers were white. Hanuman said, but Mother, I saw they were red. Mother Sita said, Hanuman, you were so angry at that time. All red in your eyes, everything you saw was red. But the flowers were not red, the flowers were white. So what happens? We see the Jagat the way we are. What is our nature, what is our swabhava, that kind of spectacles we wear and we see the whole Jagat like that. We are nice people, we feel everybody is nice in this world. So next time if you find anybody not so good person, what you should understand? Oh, I am wearing the wrong spectacles. I need to change. This is something like that mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, Mother-in-law complains to her son, the daughter-in-law is not cleaning the house, she is not cleaning the house. The son is thinking everything is clean, why is my mama always complaining? One day the mother went to take bath. His son saw the spectacles which were kept outside that were dusty. That is why she was telling, oh, always the house is dusty, the house is dusty. Then the son cleaned the dusty spectacles. Then when she came out after taking bath, she wore the spectacles. She said, now daughter-in-law is improved. Everything she is cleaning nicely now, so wonderfully. There is no change, it was a change in her own spectacles. So people are the same, only thing we have to change our attitude. So G-R-I-H. H is humility, H is humble, to be humble. Very important. What happens? The honey will attract more ants rather than vinegar. Honey will attract more flies than vinegar. whatever the issue will be, if you can take a little bit humble position, it can be resolved in such a beautiful way, right? Instead of trying to resolve it aggressively. Whenever, see, there is this one astra, Narayan astra, in Mahabharat war, when Ashwadhama puts Narayan astra, Arjun and everybody was trying to fight it out. Then Krishna says the only way to sort out Narayan astra is you pay obeisance to it. Then it goes back. So you don't have to fight every battle. Then you will lose the war. Every small thing you don't have to fight. Certain things you should just compromise. Only that which is important. Okay, this I cannot compromise, Prabhu. We need to sit across the table and talk. Okay. Otherwise, small things you should not bother. One of my favorite example, I think you must have heard it. It was doing its round during Corona. It was very viral. Have you heard about the story of the donkey and the tiger? No? Okay, then I should tell you. It's very interesting. There was this donkey and tiger. Both of them had an argument. The tiger was saying that the grass is green. And the donkey was saying that the grass is blue. For 15 days they had argument. Finally they said, why are we arguing like this? Let's go to the king of the forest and let him sort it out. So they both went to the king of the forest. Who is the king of the forest? Lion. I think back everybody is sleeping or they're not able to understand my English. Understanding? Then you raise your thumb, let me see. Okay, fine, understanding. So then they went to the king of the forest, Lion. So now the donkey said, my lord, this tiger, stupid fellow, is giving me a lot of trouble last 15 days. I've been telling him that the grass is blue, but my lord, he doesn't agree, my lord. He says the grass is green. So please punish him. So the lion said, yes, dear donkey, I'm going to punish the tiger. So now he said the punishment is pronounced. Nobody should talk to this tiger for 15 days. When the punishment was pronounced, the sabha was closed, everybody went back. After 15 days of punishment, the tiger came back to the lion. And he said, okay, you punish me, I accepted the punishment, but I have only one question. Is the grass blue? He said, no, the grass is green. Then why did you punish me and not the donkey? He said, I did not give you punishment because the grass is blue or green. I punished you because you wasted your 15 days arguing with a mere donkey. Don't you have that much brain? 15 days you wasted arguing with a donkey. So there are many such donkeys in our life. Do you want to argue? So the next time your husband says the grass is blue, what do you say? Yes, Prabhu. I hope they're not hearing. I don't intend to call them. I'm sorry, just an example. No, Prabhu is here, no need of sorry. Okay. Just an example. So, unnecessary, don't get into argument. If he says this dal is having less salt, okay, Prabhu, shall I put 2 spoons more? Whatever he says, 90% you say, okay, Prabhu, okay, Prabhu, okay, Prabhu. So, time is saved for some better things to do. Unless it becomes something very serious and important, then only you open up your intelligence and try. But otherwise, the rest of the time you can be, okay, Prabhu, okay, Prabhu, okay. Why to waste time? We can use our energy for something else. But somehow as women, now we have that little bit of ego. Why should I know what is correct, Mataji? That's not the way. But even if you know it, why do you want to argue and waste your time and energy? If we are intelligent, we will not fight every battle. We don't want to waste our time. We have better things to do. See, as I told you, if you have something big to do in life, then small things will remain small. If you have nothing big to do in life, then small thing also becomes a big thing. This is always you should remember in your life. Whenever an argument comes between you and your husband, you should remember the example of, I did not say that. I never use that word. You are saying that. So that's not my problem anyway. So try to be humble. G-R-I-H. Okay. Grateful, respectful, introspection, being humble. G-R-I-H-A. Adjust. Adjust. We have to adjust. Like I told you, always see. I remember, there was this one disciple who was complaining to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. This temple that I am here in, I'm not at all happy. The management is not good. This is not good. That is not good. And Maharaj asked only one question. He said, do they have Mangalarati? Yes. Do they have Darshanarati? Yes. Do they have Guru Puja? Yes. Do they have class? Yes. Do they have Prasada? Yes. Do they have Sunday programs? Yes. Sunday Aarti? Yes. They're serving the deities? Yes. They're having a gift shop? Yes. They're having a book distribution? Yes. They do teaching? Yes. Then what's the problem? Okay, so many things are good. Why can't we focus on that instead of focusing only on that which is not good? That's our nature. Just like the tongue, you know. The tongue, it will almost always go to that part where something is stuck after prasadam. Right? No matter how much you try, it will go on going to that part. Till that comes out, your tongue will go to that part. That's our problem. Even if everything is nice in the world, you'll always go and but this is not nice. Everything is nice, but this is not. Okay, this is not nice, forget it. Everything can't be perfect. Let's focus on what is nice, right? But this is one thing. Similarly with the husband also. Okay, there may be some things wrong, but there are so many things right. And we can focus on the right things, right? And adjust. See, if you want to go on changing your husband, if you want to go on focusing, that means you have a lot of love for him and maybe you want to continue another 7 lives with him. Then you can continue. Because what happens, you know, on a person whom you continuously meditate, definitely you will be again born next to him only, in some or the other way. And I'll tell you a real life story. I don't know how many of you know this, it happened in ISKCON. His Holiness Bhaktichari Swami Maharaj's disciple. There was this one lady. She is always having dream that she was in ISKCON before and she is connected to Prabhupada in some way. And then finally they came to know by this hypnosis sessions and all that she was Raghav Brahmachari in her previous life. And this is a real story, dear devotees. Just, you know, whatever I said, I'm real only, nothing is false. You can just search in the Google. She was a brahmachari, Raghavdas brahmachari in her previous life in London somewhere, and she had died by a road accident, in a car accident, when they were coming back from book distribution. So he was in the driver, next to the driver's seat, and they had a bad crash and they died. So after some time, everything was proved, and yeah, they found out, they went back to the history, correct, that's how the death happened and all. Then one day His Holiness Bhaktichari Swami Maharaj asked a very interesting question to the lady. You said it is proved that you were brahmachari in your previous life. Then how come you became a lady? Were you meditating on some lady? Then this question was of very much interest to her. Then she went back and finding out, was this Raghav Das Brahmachari connected to any lady? Anything happened? She found out, spoke with all the other brahmacharis in those times, some Prabhupada disciples, everything. Finally they came to know. What? That he had an affair? No affair. What happened? In ISKCON, immediately we say that means we'll be like, what happened? Any affair? No affair. What will happen is, this brahmachari after book distribution every day evening, he had a seva in the altar. Sandhya Aarti or something he used to do. And there was one Mataji who used to be off the duty. Before he comes, she used to be on the duty. And both of them used to have regular argument. When he used to say, Mataji, why do you keep the plates here? I told you, you should keep it there. This is wet like this. You have not cleaned the lamp properly. So like that, regularly they both used to have argument. So probably on that day, when he was coming back from book distribution in the car, probably he was thinking about her. Oh, she must have kept the plate like that only. I don't know what must have happened, meditating on her, and then, and what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajatante kalevaram tam tam viveti kaunteya sada tada bhava bhavita. Whatever you think at the time of death, you will get that body. That's what happened. And what's the proof? And after that, when this Raghav Brahmachari said somebody that, can I see the photo of that Mataji? So then somehow from the old Back to Get It magazines or something, they brought her photo out. And dear devotees, you will not believe, this Mataji who is born now, exactly looking like her. And it was such a proof that whomever you are meditating on, you will become like that. That is why we want that at the Anta Samaya, Prayana Kale, we want to remember Krishna. We want to look at the beautiful face of Krishna. So yes, so if you are very attached to your husband and you want to be again born, maybe become a man again and look like him and all, then you can continue correcting him, disturbing him, 24 hours meditating on him. But if you want to meditate on Krishna, then you should, adjust certain things. Instead of going on trying to correct him, it's okay, Prabhu, fine. Whatever, little bit, some certain places we are on the same page, it should be fine. That's it. Then you continue, I continue my own life. And try to see good qualities. So, GRIHAS, serving. If you love, you serve. Very important, and that's the actual verse of today's Bhagavatam class, that you only serve husband. I don't know how many of you there in yesterday evening class, but His Grace Simheshwar Prabhu told a very beautiful story of how there was this Vishwamitra. I don't know, he said Vishwamitra, but I heard some other sage name, but anyway, names don't matter. But how this sadhu was meditating under a tree, and then a bird dropped bird's stool, and he got angry and looked up, and because of his tapasya, the power of his austerity, the bird got burned and became ashes. In the next moment, when he went down to the village side to ask for charity, then this woman was a little bit late coming from inside because she was serving her husband. And then when she came out, the sage was looking at her angrily because he thought same thing will happen. She will also burn into ashes, but nothing happened to her, and he was still looking more angrily that she will burn now, she will burn now. Then she started laughing, this won't work with me. What happened to that bird? It won't work with me. And after that, she gave the charity and went off. The sage also went back. And again, after half an hour, he walked back and knocked the door. Excuse me, but I want to ask you, how did you know about it? And what are you doing? And what is the mantra you are chanting? Because I see you are just a normal housewife. I don't see you doing any tapasya. So where did you get all this power from? Then she says, this all power came because I was serving my husband. I'm a chaste woman serving my husband sincerely. So, in fact, day before yesterday's session also we discussed on power of chastity, where I told you some 30-40 stories of different ladies and how there is Gandhari, her power of chastity. Whomever she looked at could become steel. So how chaste women, when you serve the husband, then you become very powerful, right? That's how the Lord has made it. Next, G-R-A-H-A-S-T. T, tolerate. Tolerate. Either you tolerate or you mitigate or you migrate. In this life, there are only 3 choices. When you are uncomfortable, either you just migrate from that place. If you are uncomfortable, mitigate, try to sort it out. If it's not sortable, if it's not, you can't run away from that place, then tolerate. That's a 3 cut. So whatever happens, you always think about this 3. Or you remember this acronym CAR, C-A-R, CAR. Change the changeable. If something is changeable, you change it. If it's not changeable, C-A-R, adjust, then you adjust. Or R, run away from that. Yes, that's the only thing you can do, right? So whenever an issue comes in your, tolerate. It's very important because we want to go back home, back to God. We want to go back. Sometimes in an issue we may see that our fault is very less. The other person has more fault. But we have to work on our fault, because our fault is one which is keeping us away from Krishna. Imagine there is a fight between you and your husband. Maybe his fault is 99.95 and your fault is maybe 0.5%. But your 0.5% is keeping you away from Goloka Vrindavan. So what's the point on working on his 99.95? That's not going to help you. You have to work on your 0.5, which is keeping you away from Krishna. So we have to tolerate because we are in a hurry to go back to God. Right? So I always tell in my classes, just like when we were young now, if something happens to us or if we are pushed by our friends or we fall down, we used to tell, I'll complain to my mother, you pushed me, like little children when we fight in the school and all. So I tell the devotees, same thing we should be in our mind. Even if somebody is troubling us, we should think in our mind, I'll complain to Krishna when I go back to Goloka. I will complain about him, how he troubled me, but not now. Now is the time to be very serious because we don't know how long this golden yuga of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there. We should not miss this opportunity, we should not miss the train. Even if somebody is troubling us, let's keep it in our mind. One fine day when we go back home to Goloka Vrindavan, we'll sit with Krishna with a nice hot cup of coffee, herbal coffee. We don't take tea, coffee in ISKCON. Nice hot cup of herbal coffee, and we have a chat with Krishna. At that time we'll tell him, that devotee in Penang temple gave me so much trouble. So hard, I had such a hard time. That would be a good thing to do. Not now. Now we are in hurry. Go back. And then we have lots of time to share everything with Krishna. Yes. No, but I don't know, we may not get solution. We'll still have to stick with the partner. Even we can complain, but we still have to stick. Because we have our own karmas. Complain? No complaint. We can still have a herbal coffee with him. Then we're already having, we offer Krishna and have a coffee. Okay, so we have to tolerate. Okay? And then what is Grihasta, the last one? Acceptance. Accept whatever situation you are put in. Krishna has a big plan for you. I'll give you this last story and I'll close it here. I have to close this one, otherwise I'll be tempted to talk. It's already time actually. I'll tell you one last story and close it. Accept the situation. Krishna will empower us. Just have faith. When we were in the GBC college in Pune, so at the GBC college, they train you, and one part of the training is that they also test how you give Bhagavatam class and all. They see how you speak. So with me in the GBC college, I had one Prabhuji. His name was Gaur Sundar Prabhu. I forgot his name. He was a Prabhupada disciple from New Vrindavan. He's a very old man. So one day he was giving Bhagavatam class and we were all sitting, other GBC college students. He was sitting and he told a very nice incident. He said, when I was a young boy, young brahmachari in New Vrindavan temple, I used to take things very literally. Whatever the speaker speaks in Bhagavatam class, because I'm a young boy, 16, 17-year-old, it's like, really, that will happen? So he said, one day in the Bhagavatam class, the speaker said that, if you sincerely pray to Krishna, whatever you pray will be fulfilled. So he said, I felt so happy when the speaker said that, because as young brahmacharis, we had only one issue. We used to get paneer only on Sunday. And Monday was okay because we still had paneer on Sunday, so that memories are there. Tuesday was fine, but Wednesday used to become unbearable. And when are we going to get the paneer sabji again? And Thursday was almost going in lamentation. Friday again was happy because just one more day to Sunday feast, And Saturday used to go jumping because Sunday again will be paneer sabji. So he said, for us, the most important problem of this was only we wanted paneer sabji. So he said, when the speaker said like this in Bhagavatam class, I became very hopeful that if I pray to Krishna, maybe we'll have paneer sabji every day. So he said, immediately after the Bhagavatam class, I went next to the altar, stand in front of the altar, and I prayed to Krishna that Krishna, when I walk in the Prasadam hall today, it should be paneer sabji. So he prayed, and then he ran to the Brahmachari ashram, took his steel plate, ran to the Prasadam hall and opened it. There was no paneer sabji, it was aloo sabji. Then he thought, maybe I didn't pray properly. Then Tuesday what he did, he prayed very sincerely. And now he ran to the Prasadam hall and opened it. There was still no paneer sabji. Wednesday he thought somewhere I am going wrong. So this time he went to the Brahmachari ashram, took the plate. With the plate he went next to the altar to Krishna. Krishna, today should be paneer sabji. He ran to the Prasadam hall, he opened it. There was no paneer sabji. So now when he was telling like that, we all became very curious. What will happen? When will Krishna show miracle? Then he said, on Thursday I went to Prasadam hall and I was so happy, I enjoyed the Prasadam and came back. Then I raised the hand, I said, Prabhu, that means Thursday was paneer sabji. He said, no. And I said, why were you happy? He said, I got used to it. I said, why were you happy? He said, I got used to the aloo sabji. That's all right. That's how the life is. We may not get paneer, but Krishna will sometimes empower us to get used to the aloo sabji, right? We have to accept. Sometimes we can't change the paristhiti, the things in our life. But we just have to, because Krishna always has a better plan. Like I always say in my classes, things may not make sense, but it doesn't mean that they don't have sense. It's just that it's not making sense to us right now. Just to have patience, and it makes sense very soon. Because we have limited intelligence. But Krishna, he is not only the Parthasarathy for Arjuna, he is Parthasarathy for our lives also. He has already planned our life. The blueprint of our life is already there in Krishna's hand. He has already planned what's going to happen to us there. Bhakti means to align ourselves to Krishna's plan. When Mahatma Gandhi used to pray every day, people asked him, you're praying so fervently, will that change Krishna's plan? He said, it will not change Krishna's plan, but it will make me aligned to Krishna's plan. It will make me empowered to accept Krishna's plan. Devotee means we accept Krishna's plan. whatever happens, my Lord, I'm sure you have a better plan for me. You are my ever well-wisher. You can never wish anything bad for me. With this, I'll end it here, and first time on time. Thank you so much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. There's the organizers. Somebody has to wake them up.